I thought we started really, really strongly and had, the sort of forward momentum for most of that sort of opening exchanges. Overall, we lacked care with the ball and maybe being a little more clinical on a few occasions as well might have found a few more points. But I thought Hull scrambled exceptionally well to slow us down. But I thought we had in both halves we had a bunch of forward momentum, falling through the line, but we didn't capitalise on that well enough. And then when they had a few opportunities close to the line, I thought we dealt with their shapes pretty well. We had a couple of moments where they got the ball down on the ground, but overall I thought for the bulk of the game defensively we were pretty comfortable.
Was that one of the more frustrating games this season, given the amount of errors often in fairly good ball?
Well, it's frustrating today for everyone because some of our best players today had some poor moments, which compounds the errors, and I think that's the thing with mistakes in sport. It's trying not to compound them, making them back to back or making them at the wrong time. It's not just the whole number generally that causes an issue. It's the timing and the how frequent they are rather than it was. I thought we generated enough flow and forward momentum to really trouble them, but we just didn't get enough on the board early.
Did Hull out-enthuse you at times today, do you think?
I don't know. Games ebb and flow. I think there was a lot of, I haven't seen the final numbers there, but they've had a lot more ball than us, but we've made similar amount of metres, I think, or maybe even a few more. I thought some of our line speed was tremendous. Jared O'Connor leading that middle unit line speed forward. They played with high energy at times, for sure. But when we were rolling forward, we had the momentum on those occasions as well. They certainly scrambled and saved a few tries, which turned out to be big moments.
How concerning is it that as much as you're getting that forward momentum with the ball, it's then leading to an error, or you're not able to actually make use of that?
Yeah, we've had a few games this year where we've made inroads and we've fallen forward, but not capitalised on it. So there's some psychology involved in that for some players, that you're too eager, you're trying to find the big play, or sometimes just don't quite have enough patience to be able to get out and play the ball and get them on the next one. So I think that was certainly the determining factor in the result today.
Well, undoubtedly be discontent once again from fans after that result. What's your message to them after a game like that?
Yeah, that game's filled with promise, and there's a lot of talent, and there's a lot of belief in the group, and they're a very connected group. So the message is the boys will stick together, and we'll keep working hard, and we'll own our mistakes and make it the best week we can in prep.
And how important, from your point of view, is context in where they are on the table and their journey? And does a loss hurt more when the other team's been struggling, or are you impacted anyway by the context of their season or not?
Today, no one's it's just about today's game. Like, I think it's irrelevant where the ladder position is today until after the game, where you go, geez, that's a missed chance, for us. Hull have been playing with high energy. They've got some players back from injury. They've recruited a few, and they're a stronger group than their ladder position suggests probably. And they played with high energy today. As I said, I thought we generated more opportunities than they did, but scoreboard doesn't lie sometimes.
How damaging a defeat in the case, Rohan?
It's 2 points lost. I think they were there to be taken, and we just didn't have enough patience.
What happened with Momorowski at the start of the second half when he was penalised? It looked like Footy sent nowhere near the ball, and they scored in the second penalty. Are you aware what that was all about?
I'm not aware, and for some reason today there wasn't a feed available to our analysts, so I couldn't replay or try and work out what had happened there. So I'm not aware. I can only assume, but I like not to assume. I like to know for sure before I make comment.
What's the players' reaction and what's their like that performance?
Frustrated, disappointed, sad. Lots of all of those sort of negative emotions that are commonplace when you haven't performed as well as you could have.
It's obviously been an incredibly emotional week. You talked about that the other day. Without sort of wishing to use that as an excuse, is it inevitable that the players might have lacked some of that emotional momentum, towards the game because of all the other factors?
Well, emotions are a difficult thing. You can't measure them, and you don't know exactly where people are at individually on that stuff. As I've mentioned in previous interviews, some people didn't know Rob. They only knew what he did on the field, and admired that, and admired him for what he did on and off the field in his battles. And others were very close to him, and for all of those that have lost people that they're close to, there's an emotional cost to that. Sometimes it can really benefit you, and sometimes it can drain you. Again, we won't ever know what impact it's had on the individuals, but I know a lot of those players in there are, it's been tough for them, and they treasured their time with Rob, and they, I'm sure they wish they could have got a win for him today. And now the opportunities to get ourselves reset and get onto what will be a special occasion next week. And it's a great opportunity no better time to fight back.